Human services providers in our region and across the country are getting hammered by the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and changes in the way Medicaid pays for services. In March of 2020, more than 36,000 individuals with intellectual disabilities and autism received services. But by February of this year, the number was down to 32,000. An estimated 4,000 individuals have found themselves without needed services, much of it due to Medicaid reimbursement rates that don't allow for competitive wages. Well, now a local software startup is rolling out a data-driven system designed to help. Scott Bachik is CEO of the BI Collaborative. Kim Sonafelt is CEO of Mainstay Life Services. And Gian Janes is CEO of Valley Community Services. And welcome. Good to see all three of you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, Scott, back to you on the technological solution in a moment. But first, to the front lines. You're Scott Township out in Westmoreland County. What are you seeing out there? What's it like right now to kind of deliver the services you are all in business to do?
Sure. You know, it's tough. We have 1 out of 4 positions are vacant. We're seeing turnover rates in the state that are 37%. It's a great profession, but really we just cannot support the need of the people that you want services. It's heartbreaking. I'm sure Jan can talk about the number of calls we get from families looking for supports for their loved ones and people wanting to be an active citizen of their community, and we just do not have the professionals.
Well, and I wondered about that 4,000 people not being served. What happens to people if you don't have a place for them, your industry collectively?
There's not a lot of good answers, unfortunately. People often just go without services. They rely on family supports, and sometimes, unfortunately, there are still institutions in the Commonwealth that are utilized.
Wow. So, Scott, you're running a software company that's really digging deep on this issue. How can data-driven solutions make a difference?
Well, I think a couple of things. It's a very heavily regulated industry, so they're dealing with a lot of data requirements. So a lot of time and energy is spent manually managing that data. The software will automate a lot of that work. In addition to that, when we do what's called an enterprise BI, so we pull information from multiple systems within their organization, pull that together that helps give them insights to help make better decisions.
So like so many organizations, you have this system over there, this system over there. They don't talk to each other. You never get the value of aggregating all that knowledge, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And you know, a great example is pulling HR information with payroll information, with finance information, with program information to get insights on profitability of or economic, we'll say, performance of a certain program or area, along with some of the quality information and understanding what does it take to deliver that level of quality.
Now, you think of it, the for-profit world, heavy industry and stuff, they have all these sophisticated tools and techniques, and kind of the nonprofit social services space a little slower to adopt. But you were doing it right before or right as the pandemic hit, right?
We were the first partner with the BI Collaborative. So when the pandemic hit, I mean, we had information that really helped us support people in the best way. We were able to really be efficient with our staff resources because pulling that data together, we knew where we could move staff and use some other technologies a little different. So it's been a great relationship, invaluable for us.
And you're a little newer to the party in terms of adopting the solution, but what's it doing for you?
Well, we were actually right in the first quarter of 2020. We knew that we had to catch up quickly. We were able to use the BI Collaborative to access our pandemic supplies, those types of things. So it was actually integral to our some of our solutions early on. As we've evolved, we're looking more towards what people in the for-profit world know as key performance indicators. It's not something that we discuss usually in the nonprofit world, but we're identifying them, figuring out ways that we can better provide supports and maximizing our finite resources.
That really speaks to, there's an educational component to what you have to do as well as a technological component to bring people along.
There is, and that's probably been the greatest challenge, and we talk about it with both of these partners all the time. There's an organizational change management perspective that you have to go through. You can have the best system or technology in the world, but if no one's using it, it's useless. So in our implementations, we work with teams of how do we roll this out, how do we educate people, how do we create change in habits from writing pieces on paper or pulling something into Excel to using the platform. And that's not an easy lift. That takes time.
No, it really is. A little less than a minute left, but I wonder, you know, technology is important, critical, and a big piece of this puzzle. But when you look at what you're dealing with staffing issues and the broader, what's it going to take to really make sure that the services are there for all those families across our region who need them?
Well, we do need some transformational change and some support from our state leaders to, you know, to support a living wage for this profession, and to also look at the regulations and fund some of these technology supports. I mean, a lot of that we're fundraising for, or we're paying for. So it really would cover the cost, you know, if they could help support some of these.
Similar?
Yeah, unfortunately, this century, the funding has not caught up with the rate of inflation. And it needs to be reprioritized. That these are people that are vulnerable, they're community members. We've got to make an investment in them.
No, well said, well put. Gian Janes from Valley Community, Kim Sonafelt from Mainstay Life, and Scott Bachik from the BI Collaborative. Congratulations on helping to find a technology fix for some of this.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.